Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Real Business Roundtable. Shout out to Powdered Toast Man and shout out to Starbucks for providing me with energy, clarity, and the enjoyment of a smooth cold brew every episode.
That sounded real good. Don't drink it too fast, bro. You're gonna bug out.
That's what makes the show interesting.
What is that?
Today's Andy's top picks is Reed's Craft Ginger Beer, 0 sugar, extra. If you want a taste of the islands without having to buy plane tickets, pack your bags, and deal with all the annoying airport debacles, look no further than Reed's Craft Ginger.
You should say it with an accent.
Reed's. Look no further than Reed's Craft Ginger Beer. There is no alcohol in this drink. Shout out to Reed's. Real quick. I just want to clarify to the audience. Every week I trim my beard, but this week I decided to add a little bit of Johnny Cakes.
Here's your Johnny Cakes. I gotta warn you, they're addictive.
It's the character, and my decision to leave the mustache, I thought was kind of a cool look. And then after I did, I'm like, I hope I don't get any Johnny Cake jokes. Now, Johnny Cakes, if anybody is a fan of the show Sopranos, you will remember the episode with Vito when he runs away. He got caught doing some shit, and he meets a guy at a diner with
Johnny Cakes.
He just has this, like the Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace. You inspired my childhood. Thank you for everything that you've provided. This show is all over the place this morning. I just thought it was a kind of a cool look. Has nothing to do with that dude. Because I thought about it after.
I've never seen you with a mustache. I didn't even really notice it. That looks weird now that
No. If I had none of this, I'm good. I'm good.
That would be wild.
The only two people that can rock a mustache in my world is Mike Menser and my father. I can't do a mustache with no hair here. I can leave a little bit with the beard. I think that's kind of a...
Dude, I've been contemplating just shaving everything off. Just going smooth face again. I've thought about it. Thinking about it.
So yes.
I look like a baby with it though.
So today's episode, we're going to talk about how to build a successful business. Now, to each entrepreneur, success or the definition of success could be a variety of things. Sometimes it's, I want the freedom to do what I want. I want the freedom to travel. I want the freedom to not be stressed about money.
Financial freedom, that's what it is. And whatever you do with that money is what you do with that money. But financial and time, money and time are normally the two major motivating factors of starting a business.
Within a business, the definition of success can be different things. It could be, I have a patent on this product or this process and no one else can use it for 20 years, 7 years. That could be success. Someone could own the IP, someone could own the rights to something, and to them that's success, not necessarily money.
Yeah.
So sometimes people who already are successful, they look at these little achievements as, that's successful. Or if you hire one of the best talents in the United States for a specific thing, whether it's a graphic artist or someone who has an insane resume for video, someone who's I've interviewed guys that actually made legit rap videos that were on real major hip hop artists. And they said it to me in the interview and I'm like, you produced this? And then I go to YouTube during the interview and I'm like, oh God, you produced it. I was like, I feel really bad for second guessing, but his name, bang, right there in the credits. I was like, whoa, what other rap videos did you make? And is this one, that one? I was like, whoa. And yeah, so to get top talent, that could be success.
Or to turn your passion into a business, whatever it may be.
Sometimes it's a market domination thing where people will sell dirt cheap to capture more market share, and that to them, they might not be making a ton of money. They're making money on volume, but to them, the satisfaction of getting more market share is better to them.
Selling to get more market share?
Selling more to get more market
selling.
share.
Okay.
Selling cheap.
I thought you were talking about selling the business. I'm like,
No.
that doesn't correlate.
So like when I say how to build a successful business, we're talking about all facets of what you consider success. So let's talk about the major things. Let's talk about sales. So that's like the big thing.
Right off the bat, the one thing I want to say in going into any business, going into starting anything is if you're not an organized person, become an organized person. That's like one big thing is that I've realized is organization makes your life so much easier. I know this is a boring part, but like, for the love of God, learn how to be extremely organized in whatever facet, if it's digital, if it's with fucking vanilla paper, the folders, with whatever it is. Become organized. Organize your things, your papers, all the things that are important. Make sure you're on top of it. That's the one thing I will say is like, before any of this stuff, sales, marketing, growing, whatever it is, hiring, before all that, just be organized, stay organized, because that'll save you fucking hours, days in a year down the road. Now let's get into the exciting stuff.
One of the keys to success is to attract the bees to honey. Now, what's honey? Something that's irresistible, something that's not gonna break the bank. If it does break the bank, it damn sure needs to deliver 10x return. So if you have more, or it could be the product could be something that gives someone status. For example, if someone's going to pay $5,000 for a purse, rich, that satisfaction and status it gives somebody, to them, that's worth it. The value is to convey that they are within an echelon or whatever that crap is. So that is what that product is providing. Now let's talk about your product in your business. What you got to identify what the value is, right? What if there's a problem you're solving? What are you giving to them? Is it different than what else is available? Because people are going to look at your offering, the details within the offering, the specifics, the pricing. How does your price and your product compare to the next nearest comparable thing? So you gotta, to those out there that play chess and you're a strategy person, that's awesome. If you're not, you have to kind of break this down on a whiteboard, chalkboard, doesn't matter. I'm aging myself. Chalk everywhere. I want dusty chalk, a chalkboard.
I don't know if that's aging yourself, but
people don't even use chalkboards anymore, do they?
Yeah, I think so. Like school and stuff.
I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized.
Chalkboards are.
I'm traumatized with chalkboards.
That's a vibe. I fuck with chalkboards.
Oh my god, my father used to get so mad at me if I didn't learn math. You asshole! 2 + 2. Anyway.
On the chalkboard.
Oh yeah, I used to get mad. No, it was more like algebra stuff, and I had to learn my multiplication tables. Oh my god, I had a tough time with that. But chalkboards are.
Yeah, it's okay.
I see a chalkboard and I'm like, but no,
it's a fucking PTSD.
No. My dad's really good at math.
Yeah,
like insane.
Yeah,
insanely good at math. He was a good teacher. So when you're like writing this out, let's say on a whiteboard, let's get more modern.
on Notion.
Let's get more modern. Whiteboard. Break down in different silos or columns your price, your offering, how does it compare to the next nearest available solution or product, and try to dissect what exactly is it that makes you different. Now, if you lead with a cheaper price, you will initially get more sales, which is great. At face value, that's great. But if your product is lacking because it's cheap, you will deal with attrition. Sorry for the fancy word. That means losing business. Now, not every business wants.
Wait. I want to make a point real quick. Because I feel like we're jumping the gun a little bit. Just a little bit. Just like this
I'm not
much.
jumping anything.
No. Listen. My point. So there's a lot that goes into how you price things out. There's a lot that goes into it. There's not just, we should...
Cost of goods and all that.
Yeah, if it costs this much, we should sell it for this much. Great. You really got to take into consideration what you're saying is like, if you take a small margin, you might, whatever, but things might get more expensive and you might have to cut that margin a little bit more. And then you have overhead and you have hiring people and then you're left with this like little... Yeah. It's stressful. It's stressful to like make sure that you can cover everything and then, pay yourself a little bit. But that's one piece, right? So, margin is a big piece as well. And how much money is going to be coming in rather than, it's all about the cash flow, right? You got to kind of figure that out early in the game. Now, when price and market, right? If there's a market for your thing, whatever it is, finding out who the competitors are, how much they cost, what makes you different, does it justify a more, a bigger cost or a bigger price of the product? Those are all things you have to take into consideration before going to market. But I wanted to bring up that piece. It's like there was another point to this. Oh yeah, you gotta like when you're making your cost, always take into consideration overhead, hiring people, covering payroll, making sure you can pay yourself, covering future projects, additions, maybe more value to the product. You want to build something, this and that, whatever you want to pivot to. You got to really take those things into consideration. So based off of where you are positioning yourself in the market, that'll have a lot to do with the price and the cost of your product. Positioning, unless you have something else you wanted to talk about the price, but positioning is the next most important thing. How you position your product or software, whatever it ends up being.
It can be very tempting to be the cheapest game in town. There is a downside. Picture a spectrum. There's a downside to being the cheapest. There is a downside to being the most expensive. So the way you position your company and your brand, you have to be very careful and identify who locally or nationally or within that same industry are you up against. And I don't like to talk about focusing on competition because I believe in the blue ocean strategy. That is my business Bible. That's what I follow, the blue ocean strategy. That strategy is tattooed in my brain. It is a godsend to business to decommoditize yourself and be very different, to make your competition irrelevant. But when we are looking at things like price in the spectrum, if the price is high, there's a downside. It's a smaller market. There's a smaller pool of people you can sell to. If it's super cheap, holy crap, that's a high volume of people. Now your margins may be lower, you're following more of a Walmart model. If it's a solution, construction, electronics, and that price is really low, the chances of you getting customer loyalty and reoccurring business decreases because that alone, because it's cheap. Do you ever go to the dollar store and you buy something and it breaks and you're like, I don't give a shit, I'll buy 10 of these? That is the same thing. You will not really get repeat business typically, and that lower price point. So if you have a service or a construction company or any type of business and you are the cheapest one, just know you better explain why it's cheap. Give them a little bit of nugget of information to understand why it's cheap, because you're going to get people that sort of don't take you seriously because your prices are so damn cheap. At face value to a small business, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to get all the customers. I'm the cheapest. There is a mid-market that they're smart enough to know that that's a piece of shit, most likely.
Yeah.
And then they know that there's a most expensive one. Most people want the middle bowl of porridge. What nursery rhyme is that from? A middle bowl of porridge. Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
I want AI of me with Swiss Miss hair in between two bears. Was it bears? Were they bears? I want to show me eating a hot bowl of porridge amongst two other bears.
We can absolutely prompt that.
Yeah, prompt that for me right now. Now, as you watch me eating this porridge, I'm expressing that people like the mid-tier. They gravitate to the mid-tier. Cheap fucks, they gravitate to the small tier. But remember that the small tier, product or service or whatever, is going to usually deliver less loyalty, less longevity, less profit. So you got to be really careful with that. And this is related to success in business in relation to sales, because we can get real down and dirty and deep on this. We're specifically talking about sales.
Now, when it comes to like selling something very cheap, you first question like, okay, what about all those companies that are huge companies that sell things really cheap? Now, those companies have another source of income, another silo of money coming in, that they're able to make that product, service, whatever it is, very cheap. But you also have to put yourself in the shoes of the consumer. When you go out and buy something that is cheap, that is temporary. Normally it is temporary. You're not expecting a lot from it. It's temporary. But when you go out and you spend a lot of money on something, it's supposed to last a lifetime. There's good customer service. There's good value in it. It's going to last a lifetime. Just like a pot, right? Or a pan. You go out and, buy a cheap pan, Teflon pan. It'll last, a year or two until it starts getting scratched up, doesn't work anymore. You go out and you buy all-clad stainless steel. That shit's going to be in a garage sale when you're selling your house when you're 70 years old.
Stainless steel is the way to go, guys. So, don't use Teflon pans. Just a quick announcement.
So you have to think about it, even with clothes. Right? You buy a $15 regular white shirt, that thing's going to get stretched out, it's going to shrink in the dryer. It's not going to last a long time, but you go out and spend $50 on a nice white shirt, it's going to last a while. The customer service is going to be great. You can get it replaced, right? That's the difference between cheap and expensive, and that works with everything. That works with pretty much everything, right? Same thing with cars, right? There's a lot more value in a car. Whatever, I'm not going to get into that whole thing. But like what I was saying initially is, if you're going to sell for really cheap, you're not going to have the ability to fully service each. If this is a software, right? A software company, it's going to be hard, or it's not software or service. If it's going to be very hard to service every single customer, which is then going to not look like you're the best deal across the board when there's when someone can spend a little bit more and get much better service. I deal with this personally. Mm-hmm. We hire a service company to do something for very cheap. Once in a while, I'll get exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, I know.
But then most of the time, I'm dealing with bullshit, right? But I paid that small amount for that, right? What do I expect? I'm not going to make a big fuss about it because it's fucking cheap.
We had a vendor give us something that was clearly higher quality as a sample.
Oh, yeah.
And once we committed, complete dog shit. What was the purpose of this transaction? What was this?
But they're a cheap option. They're a cheap option with a good process, right? And that's fine.
Stop wasting our motherfucking time. I'm willing to pay you, but I'm willing to pay money.
But going back to what I'm saying, though, that's the cheaper product.
I'm willing to pay these dudes.
I'm still gonna pay for it. But
guys, I want to pay you.
No, wait. Let me get my point across.
They're gonna see.
Yeah,
they're gonna see this.
Oh wow, they are gonna see this. Yeah, they are gonna see this.
Please, just get the.
No.
Get it done. I will pay.
But but back to what I was saying. But now I've also worked with companies that are way more expensive, and you get a customer service rep that's available all the time.
The issue is that we're high volume. It would be yes. Astronomical. We need so much of a thing that we need to try to find something that's a little bit more cost effective.
People don't even know what we're talking about it, but that's true. And then I've worked with really high end stuff who do amazing work, and they're very intricate, and they do this, and you get exactly what you're looking for at less of a clip. right? You get one instead of 10. You get one really good one rather than, a couple good ones out of 10, right? So that's the difference between very cheap and very expensive. You got to find your place in there and make sure you're prepared to, if you're going to do it really cheap, you're not going to, and this is why we don't let him drink too much coffee. So this kind of ties back into what I was saying before. If you're going to be the really cheap option, you're not going to have a whole team that's going to... That ties back into what I was saying before.
I have a selection of drinks. Today we have...
Why don't you open up the ginger beer?
Ginger, lime, mule, soda water.
You really like
ladies
ginger.
and gentlemen. I didn't buy this. Jenny bought this for the Sizzle.
Oh.
The Sizzle is a company...
No, we don't even have to get into that. It's
celebratory, summertime, get-together, festive thing that we do. And Jenny got a case of, ladies and gentlemen, Polar Seltzer. Shout out to Polar. Now, let's talk about the other facet of success within a business. A lot of you will probably not think of this, but the talent pool out there that has specific skills that would allow your company to perform better. The specific talent, right? If you're out there, say you're an ad agency or whatever, architecture, whatever, something that requires brain. And there is a finite group of people that have different levels of expertise. Now, how are you going to, aside from money, how are you going to get those people to come on board and help you make your product? That is another element of success, is your talent, your team, because without them, you wouldn't have shit. I don't care what anybody says. You need specific talent to deliver, right? And if you have subpar talent, then you're going to get subpar results. Now, how as a business do you attract this talent? Okay? Now, some people will say work-life balance, flexibility, vacation time, benefits, growth opportunities, feedback, support, all of that stuff. But it's also important that you get down on a human level, down to earth, and not be, I'm the business owner, I'm gonna look down on you. No, you gotta get down and dirty and scrappy, because you're a person just like your staff. You shit like everybody else, you put your fucking pants on the same way. Get off your high horse.
Oh no, not again. I have to get out of here.
Now we have the talent side. You want to chime in on talent?
Yeah, look at, and I talk about this all the time. Delegation is like literally 50% of growth. If you have a team of people who you trust and that are very skillful in what you're trying to accomplish and provide, you have a huge portion of what it takes to be a very successful business. Look at yourself as the owner as glue, right? You're keeping everything together. You're making sure everything is running. Now you can hire a COO, and that person makes sure every single operation is moving smoothly. But you're the glue at the end of the day. You're the one who's making the big decisions, making sure that the business is running as it should. You know, that's the job of the owner, the entrepreneur.
The other piece of success is a growth strategy. Now, we did talk about sales, but a sale is not fed opportunity or even can become anything without the seed. That's today's theme, is this. Without the seed, the little seed that you plant and it turns into... I'm not talking dirty, guys. I'm talking about a seed that you put in the dirt. When it sprouts and becomes a plant, and then it turns into fruit, or also known as fruit.
Dude, we can't have a fucking serious conversation today.
I'm spiced up from that nitro, guys. I apologize. Now,
We couldn't tell from crushing the fucking.
now, when the seed is planted, right? Advertising, marketing, promotion, anything that proactively creates the opportunity for the sale, right? That's the seed, right? You have to have a strategy to get in front of people, to let people know. It could be networking, it could be out shaking hands. You don't have to spend money on ads. You don't have to spend money on media. If you want to just kind of, what do they call it? Guerrilla marketing.
Good afternoon. I'm here today to talk to you about our new Jungle Fresh banana delivery service.
Guerrilla marketing is just going out, getting scrappy and doing it. And I had to do it back in the day. I had to knock on doors and I had to go put something together. Like, hey, this is what we want to do for small business. Do you want to make this happen? Half the time they would, yeah, that's interesting. So you got to get scrappy. If you don't have the money to do it for promotion, you got to get a pack of business cards, 100, 500, shake hands and meet people.
Yo, if you don't have money in today's age is the easiest fucking way to get in front of people. You have platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You go out for a day, you record videos, you chop it up, use CapCut, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can pay an editor on Fiverr, $100 to make 3 clips. You post those on social media. You do that, all the time, whatever. Even if you don't want to pay anything, if you don't want to spend any money, you go out, you take a bunch of videos of you talking about your product and you post it on TikTok. You post it on Instagram. You create those social media channels. Actually, one thing I did recently that got me, well, not recently, but one thing I did that got meetings was I created an Instagram for a product or service or business, whatever it is. You create the Instagram, you put all the information on there, kind of like a website, right? Actually, funny enough, Instagram is now indexed on Google. So whatever your stuff on whatever you have on Instagram comes up, especially with videos. TikTok is now on Google. So whatever you post on TikTok actually helps your SEO. It actually shows up when someone searches it on Google. So go out and fucking post your stuff. Post that video because it's probably going to get views. But something very guerrilla and scrappy is you make your Instagram, you make your TikTok like a website. It has all the information on there, right? And then you go take a couple hours at night when you're sitting watching TV, you go on that account, you search up on the search bar the type of customer you're looking for, go and like their posts, comment on their stuff, go and send 100 messages, literally write out what you want them to see, copy it, go to their post and paste it on their comment section, paste it.
That sounds like a good strategy. So that's a good guerrilla
and it's
marketing.
free. It's just your time, and if your time is money, so it's
Sweat equity. Put in the sweat equity. Put in the time to earn success. One thing I want to close out with is your overall strategy can make or break your success. So strategy is when you just break down everything about your business, and like a chess game, you need to outmaneuver anybody else that might be clouding the space. So make sure you can step back and say, this makes me different here. This makes me different here. This is what the customer would want, not you. It's not about you, it's about the customer. So make your product, make your service so damn attractive on all fronts, from pricing to quality to delivery to performance, everything, right? Try your best to craft it so it's unbeatable. It's an iron ball that no one can get in. That's the thing that you want. It's like it's a steel cage, or not a cage, like a steel wall, right? And nobody can take your strategy, right? No one can figure out what you're doing. In business, that's what you can do. And it will protect you from people coming in trying to take market share. But strategy, aside from sales, which is I think is number 2 on my list, but number 1 is strategy. Your strategy is basically an entire landscape of how the business runs, what it is, the positioning of the brand, the pricing, the offering, the outcome, what's going to come from a customer deciding to go with you.
And in today's world, this is the easiest thing. This is one of the easiest things to do, using all the different resources you have that are available online. I mean, coming up with these strategies and positioning your business like we're working on something right now, and we're positioning, it's just as simply as what it is, but then we're positioning it as like a convenience piece for something that certain businesses have been struggling with for a while.
Oh yeah, we have a new product that's going to save people a shitload of time.
So
Literally,
much.
you hit a button, bump, bump, bump. Everything's served on a silver platter, saving you a lot of sweat.
But when it comes to strategy, when it comes to growth strategy and sales and bringing in, sales and marketing, I'm going to leave with a piece of advice that I've done a couple times that works very, very well. If you have a huge goal with your product, software, business, whatever it is, and you're able to sell that goal, you're able to sell that image, the emotions that are attached to that thing that you want to do. One way to be able to advertise, be able to get sales in, and work with a team that actually does this is, you and it's not going to cost you any money. There are agencies popping up everywhere. There's always a new agency, right? People who specialize in PPC, people who specialize in content, people who specialize in whatever it may be. Book 10 meetings with different small new agencies run by these young guys, right? Run by whoever. Go to these people, set up meetings, have meetings with them, and propose a commission stake in what they do, right? So, for example, you go to one of these small agencies. Let's say it's an advertising agency, or someone who focuses on PPC or content, whatever it is, and tell them, I will give you a percentage, this percentage, whatever it is, in each sale that you help me push, right? And they become an affiliate partner of your business. They can say that they're going to run, $10,000 a month in ads. They say that they're going to run this type of content. They're going to make clips on different pages to get attraction. They're going to, the goal is to get 1 million views on 4 different pages within this amount of time and drive this amount of sales. Well, that's great. If you're able to do it and you're confident in it, run those things that you do it all. I will give you a commission on everything. Now, sometimes you can get lucky. And if you're willing to cut a percentage off the top in order to kickstart this project with a team of people who do this stuff, then that's that. There you go. That's one little thing that you could do, right? And I know many people who do this. You just got to find the right people, and you gotta pitch yourself very well, kind of like you're pitching to someone to invest in your business, right? You got to sell them that goal, that vision, and if they understand it and they see the margin and they see all this stuff and they see their piece in it, you could do it very, very well with them.
Shit.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I thought you were going to say something.
No,
Thank you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like, subscribe, turn on posters for everything. Thanks. See you next time. Peace.